Hi, I'm Gary Remer, a shareholder with the law firm Maddin Hauser, and this is our series, The Evolution of the Franchise. Last time we began our discussion going into a deeper dive of the franchise disclosure document. I want to continue that discussion. So we talked a little bit about the fees and so forth, and my client from Franchisor stops and asks me a question of saying, hey, been a little while, or it could be a little while before this happens, but I understand a lot of franchisors have a distribution arm where they actually sell the products to the franchisees. And I said, yeah, that's a very lucrative arrangement once you have a larger system. And he asked me a couple questions about that. It's like, isn't the franchisee worried that the franchisor is going to gouge them by requiring them to purchase all of their goods from the franchisor? And I said, that's definitely a concern. But what you do to address that particular concern is you offer the franchisee the availability to use alternate sources. But they can't just pick and go to Costco to buy the flour. They have to submit a request to you, and you have to determine, with the assistance of the franchisee, based on what they submit, is this the type of product that meets your system standards? Because remember, it's critical that no matter where your franchisee is located, that the product is consistent. So that's one of the things. The other thing that typically happens, though, is if the franchisor keeps their distribution cost in line with the market, it's easier for the franchisee to go to one place to get all of the products they need to operate their location. The other thing you do need to disclose in the franchise disclosure document is the fact that the franchisor is making revenues off of this particular item. The next thing I want to talk about, though, is item 19. Kind of jumping ahead here after item 8, but it's a critical item. It's called a financial performance representation. And the reason that that's important is a lot of people, when they go into the franchise and they start to ask questions, they want to know, how much money can you make? And you're not necessarily opening up the books and records of your existing franchise location, but you have two options. One, you can simply disclose nothing, and that's permissible under the rules from the Federal Trade Commission. Or what you can do is extrapolate information from existing locations so that it can give them an idea of what their potential sales could be, what potential expenses are, and disclose that information in various different formats and making sure it's clearly identified the detail or the subset where that information came from, because you don't want to expose yourself to lawsuits. The other thing is, if there's a drastic change in the market, you may need to revise that or update that. And I'll use a great example. During 9/11, people stopped traveling. As a result of those, many hotels are part of a franchise system. The financial disclosures that were there in item 19 were not necessarily consistent with what was happening in the marketplace at that particular time, and it could be deemed misleading if it remained the way that it existed right before 9/11. The other items that are included in the balance of the franchise disclosure document includes a receipt, because you want to make sure that you properly document that your franchisee is receiving everything and has additional information if they have questions. Well, having said that, my client goes to me and says, I'm ready to move forward. What's the next step? How much will this cost me? And my comment is, let's discuss this after we're done with our video. I'm Gary Remer with The Evolution of the Franchise. Please tune in next time when we'll go through a little more detail regarding the franchise agreement. If you do have additional questions, please reach out to me at the contact information at the end of this video. Thank you, and please tune in again.